code my circle, so if you have colored pens or pencils or want to borrow some, I would recommend it. So the first thing we're going to do is fill in all of the degrees around our circle. All right. So guys, I'm going to start over here on the right side with 0 degrees. Let me calibrate real quick. I seem off. Okay. Let's think about other ones that we know. Do you know how many degrees it is over here?
I think it's 180.
180. What about up at the top? How many degrees is that? 90. This is in your packet, I promise. No, look in your actual... You guys might not have the tick marks on it. Is that right? Okay. That's frustrating. Now, look in your actual... I mean, you can do it on there. Whichever one you like better, go for it. The one I give you the quiz on will have the blanks on it like this, okay? All right. I apologize for it not being that one in your packet. All right, so are we okay? Okay, so down at the very bottom, how many degrees do you think that's going to be? 270. You guys see that every, like, quarter of the way around the circle is 90 degrees? So this would be 270. And then if I went all the way around the circle, you guys know that one, right? 360. Okay. So those I made all the same color. Ooh, maybe. Okay. All right. Let's think about other values that we talk about a lot. So what are our special right triangle values? You guys know them. Special right triangles. The angles in a special right triangle, what are they?
30, 60,
30, 60, 45. Okay, so if I'm going to put those in order, 30 would come first, then 45, then 60. They need to be different colors. So I'm going to make 30 red. I'll do green for 45, and so I'm going to make that one pink. Okay? You with me so far? Not too bad, right? These are things that we're familiar with. Okay, we're going to look at the pattern that is happening here. How far is it from 0 to 30 degrees? 30. Okay, good job. What about from 30 to 45? 45 to 60? And 60 to 90?
30.
Okay, so the spacing, you need to go 30, 15 more, 15 more, 30 more. 30, 15, 15, 30. Does that make sense? So what's going to come after 90? 120. Okay, and that's going to be pink for me. What's going to be after 120? 135, and that's green for me. After 135, 150. And that one was red for me. Okay, so those are the angles in the second quadrant. Make sure you guys are caught up with me there. All right, so then moving into the third quadrant, what do you think is going to happen after 180? What's 180 plus 30? 210, and that's going to be red for me. What will be after 210? Good. 225 is green for me. And after 225, 240. That one was pink for me. You guys see it okay? One quadrant to go. So 270 is at the bottom. So what do you think will be after 270? 300, okay, and that's pink for me. After 300, 315, green for me. After 315, 330. And that one was red for me. Okay, so that's the degrees all the way around your unit circle. Those are the degrees you need. Questions so far? Could you follow that pattern all the way around your circle? Yeah. Okay. We need to work on the radians all the way around our circle. Okay? We know what 180 degrees is in radians, right? Pi. Okay, so over here I'm going to put pi. I'm back to blue, guys. So what will that make 90 degrees in radians? Pi over 2, good. Okay, so, and I guess we could have started at the very beginning with 0 degrees and 0 pi or 0 radians. That's all the same there. What do you think it's going to be down at 270? So I've got a half pi, 1 pi. What will be down there? Two pi's all the way around the circle, right? If 180 degrees is pi, 360 would be 2 pi. So what's halfway in between 1 and 2? 3 pi over 2. 1.5 pi, right? I'm going to write it as 3 pi over 2. All right, questions on the blue? Okay, I'm switching to red next. We're going to do the 30-degree one. Okay, do you guys remember on your quiz you converted from degrees to radians? You went through and did that, okay? Would it be pretty painful to have to convert every single one of these degrees to radians? That doesn't sound fun to me, okay? I don't think 10 minutes is going to do it for you then. So we need to see what these are and recognize a pattern. 30 degrees, if you did the conversion, is pi over 6. Okay? What's going to happen here, all of these that I have done in red, these 4, they're all connected. So they are all going to be something over 6. Okay, so we can fill that in. Something over 6. Something over 6. Something over 6. We just got to figure out what the something is. So we're going to look at fractions, and we want to find the next fraction that doesn't reduce. So this is 1 pi over 6, right? 1 over 6. So let's think about it. Next would be 2 over 6. Does that reduce? Yes, okay, that's not the one I want then. So next would be 3 over 6. Does that reduce? Okay, I don't want it. Next is 4 over 6. Reduces, so I don't want it. 5 over 6. Okay, this is 5 pi over 6 then. Okay, then we keep going. 6 over 6. Yeah, that'd reduce to just pi, right? So I don't want that. What about 7 over 6? Okay, so this is 7 pi over 6. Keep counting all the way around. What is my last red one over there going to be? Is it 8 over 6? No, is it 9 over 6? Is it 10 over 6? Is it 11 over 6? Yes, so this is 11 pi over 6. Okay, does that make sense? Just count. Just working your way around the circle counting. Okay, I'm going to green next. All right, so 45 degrees. Do you guys know what that is in radians? It's pi over 4. So all of my green ones are going to be something over 4. Okay, so you don't have to write this down. So I started with 1 pi over 4, right? Next would be 2 pi over 4, but do I want that one? No. What about 3 pi over 4? Yes, okay. So that's the one I want. What about down there at 225 degrees? What is that one going to be? 5 pi over 4, yes. And the last one over there at 315? 7 pi over 4. Are you guys catching on? Yeah? Okay. All right. I just have my pink ones left. Okay, 60 degrees. That is pi over 3. So all the pink ones will be something over 3. So I started with 1 pi over 3. What's going to be next? 2 pi over 3. Good. What about at 240 degrees? What's that one going to be? What'd you say? Good. 4 pi over 3. And then at 300 degrees, what will that be? 5 pi over 3. Okay. You now have all of the degrees and the radians all the way around your circle. Questions so far? $11 pi over 6. All right, we okay? The last piece we have to do is the ordered pairs at each of these points. Okay? This is called the unit circle because the radius of the circle is 1. So if this length right here is 1, what is this point going to be? Like if you had to list the ordered pair for that.
1, 0.
1, 0. Okay, so I'm back to blue. I'm going to label that 1, 0. We'll do all the blue ones. So up at 90 degrees, what's that point going to be?
0.
0, 1. What about over at 180 degrees? Yep. And at the bottom of your circle?
0.
Good. Okay, so we know those. All right, I'm switching to red. Okay, at the beginning of class, do you guys remember I had you write down at the top of your 3-4 notes the 30, 60, 90 triangle and the 45, 45, 90? Okay, so in the 30, 60, 90, if your hypotenuse was 1, which is the case here because this is my hypotenuse, you don't have to draw this in, I just want to show you what's happening. There's my right angle, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, we figured out the lengths of these sides, right? This was square root of 3 over 2, and this one was a half. Okay, that was from our special right triangles. So look at it. Do you guys see how the root 3 over 2 is the x part of this, and the 1/2 is the y? Sideways is root 3 over 2, the up and down is a half. So that's your ordered pair here. Root 3 over 2, comma, 1/2. So now I know the ordered pair for all of these red ones. So when I go to the second quadrant, what's the only thing that's going to change? The x value is going to become negative, right? So this is going to be negative root 3 over 2, but still positive 1/2. What about in the third quadrant? Both negative, right? Yeah, because you're still left. So negative root 3 over 2, negative 1/2. And then over there at 330 degrees, your fourth quadrant one, what are we going to do there? Which one's negative? The 1/2, yeah. So root 3 over 2, negative 1/2. Give you a second, guys. Okay, we're okay with the red ones. All right, so green, remember we did the 45, 45, 90? What did both the x and y end up being? You're 2 over 2. So that means this ordered pair, both the x and y are root 2 over 2. Once you know that point, do you know all the other green points? Yes. So over here in the second quadrant, negative root 2 over 2, positive root 2 over 2. Third quadrant, both negative. Fourth quadrant, positive x, negative y. All right, we only have the pink one left, guys. All right, I'm talking about a 60-degree angle here, right? So this is still a 30, 60, 90 triangle, but what has happened as far as short leg and long leg? They flipped, right? You guys see how the x would now be short and the y would be long? So what do you think happens to this point? Yeah, it's just switched. So it's 1/2 root 3 over 2. And if you know that one, you know all the others. So it's negative 1/2, positive root 3 over 2. Third quadrant, both negative. Then positive 1/2, negative root 3 over 2. Okay, how are we doing, guys? Good. Do you see the patterns and understand where it all comes from? Yeah, if you know the ordered pairs in the first quadrant, you know all of them. Okay, there's a pattern for degrees. There's a pattern for radians. Okay, so in your packet, there's another blank circle. I'm going to post to Blackboard this one with the blanks on it to fill out because that's the quiz I'm going to give you. I will post the filled in one just so you can check too to make sure you didn't mess up a sign anywhere.
Oh, so like the quiz will look like that, like with the ordered pairs. It's like that.
Yes, this is it. This will be your quiz. Okay? Do you guys understand? What? A blank one and you'll have 10 minutes. Yes. You can do it in 10 minutes, okay? what I would suggest, go home and practice. Set a timer for 10 minutes and see how much you know. Print another one and do it again, okay? I want this to be 100% for everybody in the gradebook. Okay. Homework 3-3, guys. I will check that next time, but nothing other than the homework part of it, okay? Are we good? Okay.